The people that called for the Bitcoin supercycle are the same people that are now saying the Bitcoin bottom is in. In today's video, we'll be talking about why that isn't the case. We'll be going over the most recent Bitcoin price action and how I am personally trading this market. If you enjoy the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. First and foremost, I did not disappear. I know I haven't uploaded it in 2 days, but guys, I was traveling. Now let's get back to the price action. So you can see here that after getting rejected from the anchored VWAP for Bitcoin, we managed to get a significant move down all the way to below $66,000, ultimately holding this value area low as support. Then we managed to get another significant move to the upside, and today you'll notice that we had a pretty big move up to around $73,900. Now, if you've been tuning into the channel for quite some time, you know that I recently went short at around $73,750, and I have the receipts right here. I got stopped out of this position after securing some profits, of course. So you can see that I secured around $20,000 in profit on this trade. It could have been significantly more if I would have taken more profit as we headed lower, but ultimately my base case is still the same. And I am also continuing to hold on to my existing Bitcoin short from around $97,000, looking to add to this position. Now, some of you might be saying that sounds absolutely crazy. And the thing is, this is typical bear market behavior, chopping out all of the bulls, chopping out all of the bears, but ultimately, I still think that Bitcoin will be headed lower, and this low at around $60,000, just below that level, was not the bear market low in my opinion, of course. Now, speaking of my opinion, please remember that I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing that I discuss on the channel should be construed as financial advice. I'm just trading the market that is right in front of you and sharing exactly what I am personally doing. So, I'm currently shorting Bitcoin, I'm currently shorting Ethereum, and I want to explain why. So, outside of getting this move up above the local range highs and right at this anchored VWAP, you can see that the same thing occurred for Ethereum today. We had a big spike up on this 4-hour candle up to around $2,200, and right now we are experiencing a little bit of rejection. This range can go on for much longer than most people really want it to, and based on historical price action in the bear market, I do ultimately think that Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the rest of the cryptocurrency market will be bleeding lower. One of the reasons why is because of the stock market. You can see here that the stock market convincingly lost its bull market support band. If you've been tuning into the channel for quite some time, we discussed the fact that this was a pivotal band to hold. The last time that we lost this level, stocks absolutely plummeted. And so we've been covering this on the channel over the past few weeks, discussing the fact that the stock market was starting to look quite toppy. If we were to lose the bull market support band, then continuation to the downside was more than likely. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. At this point in time, this is a pretty comfortable close below the bull market support band, so I am expecting continued downside for stocks, and this will not bode over well for Bitcoin, in my opinion. So I know a lot of you don't like it when I talk about shorting the market, but guys, we just hit the range highs. I entered my Ethereum short a little bit prematurely at this point in time because my expectation was not that we would sweep the highs once more, but hey, this is bear market price action. I'm happy with my positions in this market, and honestly, with my short from much, much higher, I feel extremely comfortable, particularly because on the way down, I tend to take profits on my trades. So let's see how the price action develops. This is a pretty significant sweep above the local range highs, and the liquidation map showed a lot of longs piling in as Bitcoin started crawling up here above its range highs. On the 30-day time frame, there is significantly more cumulative long liquidation leverage in the market, and because we are in a bear market, I do think that Bitcoin will be moving lower. We have a massive cluster here just around $68,700. This will likely get tapped into. And the next thing I wanted to cover, a couple of key events that occurred this week that I wasn't able to report on because I missed 2 days of videos due to traveling. The non-farm payrolls, we already covered that, but the core inflation and the inflation data overall came in well within the expectations, right at the consensus, so not much of a shocker for the market. So This bear market price action is likely to wreck a lot of traders. This is why it's very, very important that you execute with proper risk management if you are looking to trade this market. And reminder, all of the trades that I show on my channel are shared in my premium group. If that sounds interesting to you, you can get access to that for free by DMing me the keyword CBM on Telegram right here. It is the first link in my description down below. Basically, the only requirement is that you've signed up with one of my affiliate exchange links and you start trading on there as you normally do with your own capital. This gives you access to the group. So DM me the keyword CBM and I'd be more than happy to onboard you and show you how I am personally trading the market. Now, taking a look at this price action, we had a lot of longs piling in, couple more shorts now piling in, so it is pretty stable price action. But because we swept the range highs, I'm still favoring a move to the downside. It's going to be very, very tricky to navigate because there's a chance perhaps we continue to go higher and then we reject lower. But my base case, to be perfectly clear on the higher time frames here, is that Bitcoin will be moving sub $60,000 and it won't just be a wick. We will likely be below that level for a little bit more time than people are comfortable with. But when the price ideally hits that level, that is where I will be looking to start slowly adding to my existing Bitcoin stack in preparation for the next big run. I'm just calling the market how it currently is. We're at the range highs. This is not the time to be extremely bullish. I know a lot of people are getting excited, especially with Strategy's new stretch product, which is essentially more stable than MicroStrategy, Bitcoin, gold, the S&P 500, and investment grade bonds. It's said that they apparently bought around $11 billion worth of Bitcoin over this past week, but let's see how this develops. I do think that it's important to exercise a little bit of caution with Michael Saylor's products, but guys, so far so good in terms of Bitcoin buying pressure. Can they hold this up is the real question, because as Bitcoin hits very important higher time frame range highs, it's more than likely that we continue to get rejected at these levels. We also have this significant level that I talked about looking to short at the tariff capitulation lows, which we haven't quite tapped into yet. So I'll keep you updated as the price action develops, but for now, very content with my positions in this market. You can see that Bitcoin is currently flirting with this yellow line, which is the value area high. Start to lose that level, and ultimately Bitcoin will find its way back within the mid-range after sweeping these local highs. Speaking of local highs, if we start to get daily candle closes above 72.2K, I would be willing to say that Bitcoin could get even more of a significant push. But until proven otherwise, I do think that it is important to exercise a little bit of caution if you're bullish on Bitcoin at this point in time. We are at the halfway point in the month. Usually Bitcoin sees some kind of reversal here. And next week we'll also have FOMC, which I will be live streaming on the channel. So right now, Bitcoin got a nice sweep of the range highs, but this daily candle looks like another classic sweep. If we go to the weekly time frame, I just want to go back to something because I was getting some questions about how is it possible that Bitcoin essentially managed to sweep all the way at the top of this candle, considering how bearish this candle was. Well, this can happen. Sometimes when we get these massive wicks, we tend to retrace at least 50% of the wick, and you can see here that we retraced more than 50%. But my expectation is that Bitcoin will likely continue to stay within this range, but ultimately bleed lower. Just telling you how I'm trading this market. And before I wrap up the video, legends, please remember that there is a fantastic promotion on Bluffin, one of the best exchange promotions that I have seen in the industry since 2017, where you can earn up to $50,000 in withdrawable bonuses. Yes, you heard that right. Most of these crypto exchanges tend to give you bonuses for trading purposes, but if you get to these volume numbers, you can actually withdraw these bonuses. So if you're already a seasoned trader, you might as well join me on Bluffin, which is the second link in my description down below. You sign up and then you can go ahead and start trading. Plus, on top of these volume bonuses, you do have trading bonuses. And if you're a new trader, you can get up to $20 for a new Bitcoin or Ethereum position. So make sure to check that out. And that sums up today's quick video. The stock market is essentially free falling. Bitcoin just got a nice move to the top of its existing range, but ultimately, I don't think we will get acceptance outside of this range. Bitcoin is likely to move lower in my opinion, sub $60,000, But in the more immediate short term, it is quite tricky to trade this price action if you're not protecting your positions. So as always, make sure to execute proper risk management. I'll keep you updated as my trades develop. I hope you all have a lovely weekend, and I will see you in the next video.